Good evening. Happy Tuesday. That was right on cue, wasn't it? Hey, it's live. I am Julie with Creations by Julie, and thank you for being here with me tonight. I go live every Tuesday and Thursday, every Tuesdays and Fridays at 6:30. And y'all, I hope you're having a good week. I hope your weather is better than it was this time last week. I'm telling you, this time last week, we were worried about our pipes freezing. And we got up to almost 80 today, y'all. My air is running right now. It's crazy. But I much prefer this weather than what we were having last week. We were very blessed that we didn't lose power for any length of time. None of our pipes froze, and we came out of it really good. Ed had gone to the store on Sunday, thanks goodness, because for a week, I mean, you can't hardly buy water or meat anywhere. So I was going to move my phone in the other room so we didn't hear all these noises, and I forgot. Between Ed's phone and my phone, hurry back, you have to draw. Okay, first thing we're gonna do tonight is give away a stencil. And remember, I said you would get your pick. It's a design from Magnolia Design Company, and this particular size has two different stencils. I cut them in half, and you get to choose which one you want. Do you want Ephesians 2:8, for it is by grace have you been saved, or do you want Matthew 10:26, with God all things are possible? So let's see who Ed pulls out of our cup for tonight. You will need to private message me and let me know which one you want. And then I think what we'll do is we'll give away the other one for next week. Who?
Paula Rankin.
Paula. Okay, great. Paula, just let me know which one you want. And whichever one she doesn't choose, the other one is going to be our giveaway for tonight. And last week we used the word magnolia, so I think this week our special word's going to be stencil. So all you have to do to get your name in the cup is spread the love and post this video on your page for your friends to see and enjoy, and then come back to this page and put in the word stencil, and we'll go from there.
Judy Smith said she'd hang as long as she could, but she's got to get up at 3 a.m., so she's not promised.
Oh, well, you can always go back and watch the replay, Judy. I really appreciate you being here anyway, and I don't know how you get up that early in the morning. I've never been a morning person, and no way could I get up that early. Okay, we may talk about those again later, but Paula, just let me know which one you want. Okay, let's talk about last week just a little bit. Last week was the bubble method. And if you'll remember, I used this color. I used a kind of thin, I only had one roll of it. Well, I'll tell you, I didn't finish the bubble wreath. You may have to go down now, Ed, for a minute. I did not finish the bubble wreath because I didn't have enough mesh. But at least you saw the method. I would suggest, if you want to experiment and do a bubble wreath, that you use 21-inch mesh to practice with. Make your bubbles, your poofs, 10 inches. It'll be a lot poofier and it'll be fuller than trying to use 2 rows of mesh. So I'll tell you what I did. When I saw it was not going to finish the wreath for me, I went ahead and took it all off, and I cut it in 10-inch strips to use for the method we're going to talk about tonight. Tonight's about curls. Y'all know I told you earlier that I did not like curls. Well, I'm telling you, dealing with these 2 wreaths from this week, it just convinced me for sure I don't like curls. But I'm going to show you how to do it. Some people enjoy doing them. There's several different ways to do it. You can take your wreath form, and I would say for the 10-inch mesh that you not do your pipe cleaners on first. You know, normally we would put 3 pipe cleaners in each section. Is that the right? No, this is a 12-inch wreath form. Anyway, it would be, I thought, that looks awful small. I just picked up the wrong one. You still have 6 sections, and you would do 3 pipe cleaners in each one. For the curl method on the 10-inch, I would suggest you do them in bundles. And you probably need 3 colors. Now, I will tell you, I finished the wreath in this color mesh. This is the only piece I had left. And I added 4 colors to it. So it's with 5 colors. I'll show it to you in a minute. It's huge, it's full, but no way would I put it on my website to sell it. I don't like it. I'll show you, and then I'll show you how I did the curls. From a distance, you probably think, oh, that's pretty, that's colorful. But y'all, and I ended up putting 1, 2, 3, 4, I did 3 colors in each bundle, and there's 4 bundles in each section, so 24 bundles. And it is good and full, but I'm telling you, the mesh sticks to each other. There are frays everywhere, and like I said, it will go on my front door for Easter. I'm not going to put it on my website to sell, but I'm going to show you how I did the curls, how I made the bundles. So I'm going to go ahead and use 3 pieces now. These are just 2 of the colors that, and I don't think I have enough, well, nope. So the next bundle I'll have to do 3 this color. But I'll show you a couple of bundles. And either I need a whole lot of practice or something. I'm just horrible with the curls. The 10-inch was not as bad. I call it maybe a granola type thing. I mean, you want it, see, this is towards the end of a roll of mesh. So it curls up perfect. It's good. But then when you take it, you want to squinch it in the middle and do it together like this. See, to make your curls. They start poking out, and especially I'm going to show you using the 5-inch mesh. It was even worse.
Judy Smith liked it. She said that looked pretty.
It is colorful from a distance, and I'll put it on my front door, but I wouldn't put it in the shop and sell it. You know, it's just, there's too much fraying. I just don't like curls, you know. And I'm not good at it, you know, because I haven't done enough of them. But you would pinch it like this, and I tried for the longest to be able, you know, to hold it in my thumb like this. Take the next piece. You see what I mean? I mean, it's a pain. It sticks on itself. You want it, you don't want that big, you know, curl up, but you don't want that big of a curl. One thing, I'm going to clothespin. I did find that if you put a clothespin on it, some people use the bow maker, the bow dabber, and stick their curls down in. I didn't pull mine out. But you might find it easier. This is one of the insides, like you paper towels, but this came off the mesh. So you could kind of help yourself and get it started and roll it. And that's what a curl is. It's just a roll. You want it to loosen just a little bit. You want your ends to hopefully be as close as possible. I always like to have the cut edge down, and I found I had trouble doing that with all 3 pieces. Cut your pipe cleaners in half to make your bundles, because you don't need the whole pipe cleaner. Bend it. All right, you're going to take it and scrunch it together in the middle. And see, look at that, the big curl. And your cut edge, frayed edge, is on the outside, sticking up. You know, I just, but you're going to do 3, whatever 3 colors you've chosen. I used a light pink, a dark pink, a light purple, and a dark purple, and I kept one of these in every one of the things. But I had to add 4 colors to it, but they weren't full rolls, so that was okay. All right, you got kind of your cylinder, I guess you'd call it. Pinch it together in the middle. Then you're going to put the 3 of them together. And then do the pink one. Like I said, I tried to do it with the ends down, and they would end up on the top. Put your pipe cleaner through the middle. I always would kind of take them and do this to them, and I'll tell you a little trick, whether you're making a bundle with mesh or whether you're making a bow. If you'll twist one time the pipe cleaner, then twist your mesh or your ribbons, it tightens it here and not so much here. All right, you're going to make as many bundles as you want. What I did when I made that one, and y'all, it took me 2 days to like make that. Then you take it and you just start at your crossbar, put it between the two middle rings, just like we did with the bubble wreath, only we didn't do bundles. Okay, I usually try to pull it to where, I don't know if you can see, but the middle of my twist is right there in the middle of these two rings. And then you're just gonna twist it. One reason to do it this way is because then you can, once you get them on there, you can move them over, you can adjust them. All right, let's do another one. Let me get a pipe cleaner cut. Any questions? Anyway, that's what's called a curl with the 10-inch. I watch Nick from Nick Cretisco's, Nick's Seasonal Decor. If you're not following him on Facebook, you should. He does some really easy, quick wreaths. And I saw him do one with the 5.5-inch mesh. So I did 2 wreaths. All right, there's one. And this one's just all going to be the one color because that's just what I have laying here. And they're towards the end, so they kind of got a curl to them. I'm thinking I read where you want it maybe 1 inch. But mine just, I don't know, I'll show you, especially the 5.5. See, it's fraying. The 5.5, see if I can get both of those on one. I just pinched my finger. Really curled up because you don't have as much mesh. All right, see, this one's pretty much got its own curl to it. See, nope, they're all like that kind of. You'll see on the 5 though, they're not this tight. But when you get towards the end of your roll, it gets tighter wrapped around that roll. So if you had your mesh and it was like this, you know, the curl side up, just take it and turn it and start curling it. Remember how we kind of folded it over and did like 3 or 4 curls when we did the cruffle? It's kind of the same thing, only you do the whole thing in curls. Pinch it in the middle, put 3 pieces together to make your bundle. Just slip that pipe cleaner through there. And then twist, kind of make sure they're even, but they go in all different directions. And then twist this part of it, not the pipe cleaner, okay? But you're gonna put 4 bundles in each section, no matter how big the ring is. You're gonna put at least 4. If you go to a very big ring, you'll have to put more than that. All right, I'm supposed to be going this way. All right, so I'm gonna go the 2 middle ones. What? Ed knows I don't like curls. That's why I probably conveniently forgot about this method. All right. But you don't need to waste a whole pipe cleaner with this method because I don't think I'm going to add anything to that one. And then the reason the 10-inch is better, I think part of it is because you can push it and it pretty much on these 2 rings will cover your whole thing. But now see, look what this one has done. Can you see this? And you're constantly touching them and pulling them apart. It's just not my thing. This girl is going back to ruffles next week, I can tell you. Okay, so you would do this. Make your bundles first if you want to. You know, this mesh, the more it's handled, the more it frays. And, oh, I'm gonna need this to show them the other one. So that's what you would do on the 10.5. And like I said, when you get finished, there's the wreath. And I mean, it's probably 24 inches this way, but it's probably at least 6 inches tall. And if you could look at it closely, you would see what I'm talking about. I don't know if you can see. I'll see if I could get it kind of close. But I mean, there's just frays.
There's one right in front of you.
Yeah, there's frays everywhere. And the more you touch it, the more it's gonna fray.
Judy said she's with you. She don't like them either.
No, and like I said, it'll be pretty on my front door. So, you know, because at a distance, because when I, you know, put it and hold it up, it's shiny because it's got the foil, and it's pretty. But I ended up with that whole roll of the striped. I forgot how many. I did light purple. You'll see there's 2 shades of purple in here. There's a really light purple.
Carol Hunter said no curls for me, but it's pretty, but a hot mess.
Yeah, yeah, it really is. And no, I wouldn't sell it. I'll use it, and then as soon as Easter's over, I'll turn it over, and I'll take apart every one of these and throw it in the trash. It's just not my thing. But that's with 4 in each section, and you get a very full. Now let me show you the difference. I did one. I thought I had to go yesterday and get the blue for the red, white, and blue, because I thought, well, that'll be pretty, and you know, if I don't like it, it can go on my door for 4th of July, and that's what's going to happen. Okay, look at the difference. Same size frame. Can you see the difference in these wreaths? Whoops. This is with the 10-inch. This is with your 3 colors, your mesh this size. My white actually did come from the Dollar Tree, but it took 2 rolls. The red and the blue came from Hobby Lobby, and this is what I have left from the roll of each. So this is with 5.5. And I'm going to show you how it's different, other than the size. But see, I mean, you've got, which makes sense, you've got 10 inches here that you're doubling up for the height. Here, you have 5 inches that you're doubling up. Personally, I prefer this. As far as shipping, I prefer this. But this one won't go in my shop either. It's kind of the same thing. It's just, now I've already put some ribbon on it, so it doesn't look, you don't see quite as much of the fraying and stuff, but I wouldn't sell it. So to do this one, what I did, and this is what Nick did, he did his frame. Forget these are here, okay? Let's talk about one of these other sections, and you'll do the same thing all the way around. He did his frame to where he put a pipe cleaner in the middle of the 2 rings, and if you're gonna add ribbons, you do want to use a whole pipe cleaner with it going up. Just pull it really tight there. Then he took, instead of putting them here, he put them here, which I'm glad he did, because that allows you, when you're finished, you still are going to have 18 pipe cleaners, because you're going to put 3 in each section, but you're going to put...
Karen said the red and white and blue one looks less busy and she likes it better.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's pretty and shiny. It's good for 4th of July. But there again, you've got that fraying mesh. But I think it not being so tall and adding the ribbon and this shiny ribbon, and I've also added flex tubing, and we'll talk about that in a minute, which takes away, I think, from the curls. You wouldn't know as much when you first look at this that it's curls until you look at it real close. But wait till I show you how you put them together. That's when I really got frustrated. All right, so you're going to have 3. None of them are hooked to the crossbar. so they can slide if you need them to. So just don't even think about this. You would do your whole wreath frame just like you would if you were doing ruffles, as far as number of them. And so in that case, you don't add the pipe cleaner to your bundles, but you still do bundles. Okay, and I left several. And I'll give you a little hint too, because you can even do the smaller things if you want to. If you've got mesh that's fairly thin, not burlap or anything thick, you actually can save time by cutting all 3 pieces at the same time. That's what I did. I laid my ribbons, my mesh out like this to where it was going that direction. These are getting really to the curly end. And you line them up on the ends here. And the white's just about out. Now the white worked fine for this, but like I said, you would need 2 rows instead of 1. It's not near as thick as the others, but it worked okay. And then you would just roll these out, or get them off to kind of the side, and then you can use your rotary cutter. You have to put something heavy on the end to keep it down when it starts rolling this bad. And then you measure out. These you would cut at 14 inches. The 10-inch, you cut at 10 inches. These are cut at 14. So I've left a couple on here. I've done everything except this one section right here. I have the one in the middle, and see, then these can slide. And then I have the 2. Now, I'll tell you, I ended up going back in every single section to get this fullness like I wanted, to where I couldn't see the wire. And there's the frame. I added 1 more bundle. And when you add a bundle, you don't have to worry about having the pipe cleaners up. You do it the same way as you did the other. But these... Okay, let's start with the one that's curled the most. Aren't you think, okay, well that's pretty good. But y'all, when you take it and you mash it together, if you're real careful, you kind of get a curl. But if you try to hold it in your hands, it starts pulling because you don't have a whole lot of room there. So that's when I started using the clothespins. It still catches on itself, it catches on everything. But I would do the clothespins. It's a little easier to do the curl and stand it up and kind of get it like this with the shorter. Open it up a little bit. That would probably be maybe a 2-inch, about 1.5 inches. Mash it together, and see, when you mash it together, do you see how this starts pulling? What is that? Isn't it like a granola or something like that? That kind of has, it's not a perfect curl, it's more of a cone. That, to me, that's what they all look like. They didn't look like curls. All right, curl up, and see, this wasn't quite as curly because it's one from the first part of the roll. But these are 14 inches. If you want to do a red, white, and blue one, Dollar Tree will probably eventually have all 3 colors, but they may not. But you can get them at Walmart. I mean, not Walmart. Hobby Lobby. This week, the mesh is not on sale, but it probably will be next week. All right, so I mashed this one. And then see, I mean, you don't really have a curl there. Then you take them and you've got to put the 3 of them together. And there you're mashing them even more. All right, so you've got your bundle of 3. I already have my pipe cleaner in there, so I'm going to move these others out of the way.
Looks like a cheerleader bow.
put my bundle, and you see how it's just catching. The ends of it are catching on everything. And you put it in there, and you want to make sure, because now when you get that mesh together.
Karen Board Hunter says cannoli.
Cannoli? Yeah, I don't see curl. I see cannoli, and I cannot stand the fraying. You got to do it pretty tight because it's thick, those 3 pieces, and you got plenty of room for ribbon, and you want to twist it 3 or 4 times. See, then you got to try to get it loose from the others. Puff it up a little bit.
Tell us how you really feel, Julie.
I don't like curls. Now, like I say, when this is on my door, it'll look fine. But I don't like curls. All right, I got 2 more I have to do. Plus, I'll have to do a 4th one probably for that section. So there again, if you need to use a little help to get it started, just roll it up. Kind of try to get it even. Pinch it together. But I mean, it just automatically, see, that's not a good curl. So either I'm horrible at making curls, or, you know, it doesn't matter from to curl. Nick did it so fast, it's like, okay. But it is very time consuming, and I just don't think it's as pretty. You could take these 3 colors and do a ruffle, I think, and it would be much prettier. So you can use the 5.5 inch mesh on a wreath also. This probably would fit between a storm door and a wood door too. Okay. And like I said, really and truly, by the time you get the ribbon and stuff on it, you don't really see the curls. And maybe if I had put ribbon tails on that, it would be okay. But even adding the ribbon tails is not going to stop the fraying. All right, I've got 2 here on the bottom. I'm going to put them in these pipe cleaners, pull it really tight, and twist 3 or 4 times, because you do not want those curls coming undone. Now you can, if I had been looking at it right, I probably would have kind of turned that where I had blue up here, not the white together, but doesn't matter. All right, I'm going to put 1 more right here. And see, by not putting it on that crossbar, I'm able to, if I want to slide those over and put a bundle in there, I can. So, like I said, I'll say it again, ruffles are my favorite. Now, I will say that the one we made, the purple that he has risen with the caruffles, I don't know what it would cost to ship it when it sells, but it made a very full, pretty wreath. So I may make more of those using the caruffle, which, remember, was the curls at both ends, but it was only a little bit, and then the ruffle in the middle. And it did turn out pretty. I always try to get my cut edge on the bottom, but it just does, with this stuff, it just doesn't seem to matter. Okay, so I've got the 3 together. I'm going to put the...
Judy Smith said thank you for showing it, even though you don't like it.
You're welcome.
And she has to go. She'll watch a replay at the end of the live.
Okay, thank you, Judy. Oh, now I want to turn that one the other way, because not that anybody would notice, probably. Okay. So this would have been, this still ended up with as many, if you want to call them bundles, still ended up with as many pipe cleaners and stuff because I went back and added. Now, you've got your pipe cleaners here around the edges. So if you, like, let me see if I can show you. I see this is the 3 I just did. But to me, I feel like there's just too much space right there. So I went back and added 1 bundle to each one. So I have 4 in each section, just like I do the 10-inch. But you could do it with 3 rolls. If you're using 3 colors, you could do it with a roll of each color, unless you're getting it from the Dollar Tree. And the reason for that is the Dollar Tree, I believe, only had, I think it was half. I want to say maybe it was 15 feet. So it wasn't, 10 yards. It was just 5 yards. But for $1. And see, the more you touch it, the more that stuff frays. Now this one I will do as a bundle. I don't need my pipe cleaner sticking up because I already have 18. That's a good number to put ribbon tails on every other one. And what I decided that I would do is I only cut the ribbon tails to 10 inches because see, your mesh is not as tall. You don't need those ribbon tails to come out quite as much. Okay, this one I'm just gonna do a bundle. Take my pipe cleaner just like you did. You could do this whole one all in bundles if you didn't think you wanted to. Like you could do Easter colors and it would be a smaller wreath, and you wouldn't, if you're not going to add ribbon tails or anything, you could just do bundles and tie it underneath. All right, so there's my bundle. And I'm just going to go back and find those 2 middle rails. Really wouldn't matter. In fact, I'm just going to do 1 rail around 1 rail. I think it's the second one. Just push it down in there. I still have my pipe cleaners up here and down here to put my ribbon in. Turn it over and twist it on there. Basically what you're doing is just adding the filler. See, what I will do is go through and cut off all the frays I see right before I hang it on my door. Okay, I have taken 2 ribbons. I had this one, and for some reason the other end of it came off, but it came from the Wreath shop. Remember, it was one of the places that I told you about. And I cut 10 inches. This is a 2.5-inch ribbon, and I cut the 10 inches. Then I have this one, and it came from Trendy Tree, which is another one. I think I had gotten this for Christmas maybe, but it can be used for Valentine, 4th of July. The only thing about this one is you can't, when you have a ribbon like this that's like an open, you can't really cut it in the dovetail. So I just angled it. Now, when you put them on there, you've got your choice. You can either leave this ribbon laying over the top of the other, point them all down, or you can separate them. I'm not sure until I'm totally done with it what I'm going to do. But those were the 2 ribbons that I used, and I cut each one to 10 inches. And I cut 9 of them because you have 18 twist ties, and I was only going to put it in every other one. Then this came from the Dollar Tree, y'all. It is called mesh tubing. Normally they have all the Easter colors, and they have the holiday. I usually stock up on it when I see it because you pay about $8 or $9 it's a bigger bag, but when you order it online, you pay a lot more. This is $1 a bag. All right, I knew I had one more ribbon here. Let me make sure I get it in the right spot. It should be right here. So let me add this last ribbon. And it's done the same way. Just put it over the top, gather it in the middle, put it in the bottom twist tie. You want to, I'm leaving the white up for now. I think I'm just going to take them and twist them down. All right, so what I did, I had ribbon in one. The very next one, I put in this mesh tubing. I would have put maybe the darker blue, but I didn't have any. I tried white, it blended in too much. So the red just gave it a little bit of extra sparkle. And what you do with it, I like to use the flex tubing. It just gives it a little extra. You pretty much throw it on the floor. And you measure, to do this, I measured 24 inches. You don't want to take it and pull it because it's stretchy. So you just want to gently lay it, cut your 24 inches. There's several ways you can do it. You actually can do a bow. The easiest way to do it, I have found, and once it's on the wreath, it doesn't make much difference, is to put it together in half, put it in half again. You've got 2 loops on one side, a loop and 2 tails on the other, and just get it in the middle. And it doesn't matter that it's not 2 loops on both sides. Then I'm going to put it in the twist tie that does not have the ribbon. See, there was one down here, and I'm going to have this one up here. So I got to find the end again. And that's 24 inches. You could do it longer if you want bigger. And then double it again. When you use this, you can mix 2 and 3 colors together, but it's called flex tubing, deco mesh tubing. All right, where's the one that doesn't have it on the top? Right there. So basically, I have something in every tie. It's either got 2 ribbon tails or it's got this tubing. And like I said, then you decide what you want to do with your ribbon tails. You can leave them together. You can pull on them, have them tied in there good. You can separate them to where one's up, one's down. However you want to do it. Whatever look you like. For 4th of July, that almost, when it's done this way, almost looks like fireworks. You know, a burst or something. But I'll decide on that later. But this is pretty much all I'm going to put on it. And you've got choices. You can either take this white pipe cleaner and you can twist it and cut it off and poke it behind it. But I'm going to leave it on. I mean, that's part of my color. So I'm just going to take a pencil, and I'm just going to twirl it down and let it be part of the wreath. And you'll have to go through and do every one of them. So, this is it as far as our mesh methods. I'm still going to show you about all the different plastic boards from Unique in the Creek, but I need a week or so to kind of figure out what I've got. And I probably can put together a couple of kits maybe. And right now, Amazon is out of all the boards. So I'm going to do some checking to see where you could even order the boards without ordering them from Canada. Canada is the original place that has them and invented them. But with things the way they are, it takes forever to get a shipment from Canada. And probably shipping is high, unless you order $120 from them to get free shipping. But Amazon usually is pretty quick, and I'm going to find a couple other places too. But anyway, that's gonna be in a couple of weeks. Also, probably the end of next week, maybe next Friday, we're going to start doing some magnolia design stencils. I'm going to show you how to use the stencils. But for the next two slides, I'm going to show you some crafts that you can do with your kids. They're easy enough to do with your kids, but it makes really cute home decor. We're going to concentrate on carrots on Friday night. I'm going to show you 5 different cute carrot crafts. And then that will be Friday. So next Tuesday, we're going to do bunnies. I'm going to show you 5 easy to do bunny crafts of different kinds. So I think that pretty much gets it for tonight. Did y'all have any questions about the mesh or the wreath itself or ribbons and stuff? I'll give you a few minutes. Just type in your question if you have one, and if we don't catch it right now, I will go back and read. But has Paula been on there? Okay, so I can't tell you which. I'll probably see Paula tomorrow. I can't tell you which stencil she's going to choose, but whichever one she doesn't pick tonight, the other one will be given away.
Karen says she's good. No question.
So Karen, let me ask you, what is your favorite method? Do you have a favorite?
Teresa Hughes says, thank you, you do great work.
Well, thank you, Teresa. I appreciate that. I'm definitely out of my comfort zone. And I really do want to try to keep thinking of different and unusual things. And I love giving away things. I really want to keep that up.
Karen says Cruffle.
The Cruffle. And like I said, it made a beautiful wreath. And I may do more of those. Okay, I'm just curling the pipe cleaners. Like I said, you could cut them off if you wanted to. This one also will go on my door for 4th of July. Unless I decide to give it away. Who knows? I kind of hate to give something away that I wouldn't sell. But, yeah, you won't see any wreaths with curls in my shop. But I do love the magnolia stencils. I am having really good time making Easter stuff with different stencils. Okay, I don't think I missed any, but basically that's it. And like I said, this is small enough. See, it's plenty full. It's small enough. It's still on the 14-inch frame, Dollar Tree, but it's thin enough that it could go between a door and a storm door and a. But I mean, look at the frays. I mean, they're just everywhere. Now I did cut this with a rotary tool. I probably wouldn't have as many frays if I had used the wood burner. But you've got 3 colors and you've got 24 cuts of each one. So that's almost 70 something, and that would take a while with the heating tool. So, but anyway, I didn't, so. But anyway, it's a big difference in the sizes, that's for sure. That one just eats up the other one. But I mean, this will make a pretty wreath on my front door. Yeah, from a distance, it will look pretty. When you get up close and you really look at all these frays, and plus the tinsel, it's not tinsel, the foil that runs through it. A lot of times that's part of what the fray is. It's just that foil, and it would just, see, can you see that? That's foil that just comes out. So, anyway, okay, well, I appreciate y'all staying on tonight and hopping on and being with us. And I hope you have a great week. Don't forget, Facebook is changing things. They're going to do away with the likes. You need to make sure that you are following people. Make sure you click on the notifications where you can get notified when I go live. And for now, anyway, I will be back Friday. I'm beginning to get a little more situated in what day of the week it is. Last week was awful. I couldn't keep up with it at all. But we will be back Friday at 6:30, and we're going to play with carrots. And they're all going to be different. And they all, well, I won't say all of them. Most of them would be small enough for a tier tray, I think. But they're all, I believe, something you could do with your kids. And they don't take a lot of supplies.
Jeannie says have a good night.
Thanks, Jeannie. You too. And so y'all have a blessed week, and I will see you Friday at 6:30.